Welcome to With Anna 7, where every story feels real and every shadow feels closer than it should be. So if you are listening right now, make sure you are alone. And whatever you do, do not look behind you. Because once you hear this, there is no going back. My name is Daniel, and I am not telling this story because I want to. I am telling it because I think it is the only way to understand what is happening to me. And maybe, if someone hears this, they can answer something I cannot answer myself. Have you ever felt like your thoughts are no longer yours? Have you ever been sure you did something, but you cannot remember doing it? That is exactly how it started for me. I moved into a small apartment on the edge of the city, quiet, cheap, and empty. The kind of place where nothing is supposed to happen. The first nights were calm, almost too calm. No noise, no neighbors, no movement, just silence. The kind of silence that slowly starts to feel wrong instead of peaceful. Then one night, I woke up suddenly at 2:17 a.m. I did not hear anything. I did not see anything. But I felt something, like I was being watched from inside the room, not outside. And when I opened my eyes, I saw my bedroom door slightly open. I always close it before sleeping, always. So why was it open? I got up slowly, trying to stay calm, telling myself I probably forgot. But when I stepped into the hallway, the air felt heavy, like walking into a place where someone had just been standing right behind you. Let me ask you this. Have you ever known something is wrong, even when you cannot prove it? That is exactly how it felt. After that night, small things began to change. Objects slightly moved. My phone opening apps on its own for a second, then closing, like something was learning how to use it. I ignored it at first. I told myself I was tired, stressed, maybe even imagining things. But then the whisper started. It was not a sound, not something you hear with your ears. It was inside my head, and it knew my name. Have you ever heard your name when no one is around? What would you do if the voice did not feel human? I tried to ignore it. I filled my room with noise, music, videos, anything to avoid silence. But the moment everything became quiet again, it came back, stronger, clearer. Like it was waiting for me one night. I decided to record myself sleeping, just to prove that nothing was happening. I placed my phone facing the bed and forced myself to sleep. The next morning, I hesitated before watching the video, but curiosity took over. I pressed play. At first, everything looked normal. I was asleep, not moving, the room still and dark. Then at exactly 4:12 a.m., something changed. I saw myself sit up slowly. But I do not remember doing that. My eyes were open, but empty, like I was looking through the camera, not at it. And then I smiled, but it was not my smile. It was too wide, too still. And then I spoke. The voice was mine, but the tone was wrong, cold, distant, like someone trying to imitate me. It said, "You are quieter when you sleep." And then it laughed softly. The video ended there. I watched it again and again, trying to convince myself it was fake. But how could it be? I stopped sleeping after that. I stayed awake as long as I could, afraid of losing control again. But how long can a person stay awake before they break? Have you ever pushed yourself that far, until reality starts to feel different? Because that is what happened next. I started losing time, hours I could not remember, messages sent from my phone that I never typed, places I do not remember going to. And the mirrors, they became the worst part. At first it was small, a slight delay in my reflection, like it moved a fraction of a second after me. But then one night, I stood in front of the mirror, staring at myself. I moved my hand slowly, and my reflection did not move. It just stared at me, and then it smiled before I did. Tell me, what would you do if your own reflection acted on its own? Would you trust your eyes? Or would you convince yourself you are losing your mind? I covered every mirror after that, every surface that could show me myself, because I was no longer sure what I would see. The whisper returned again, but this time it was clearer. It said, "Why are you fighting me?" And that is when I realized something terrifying. It was not trying to scare me. It was trying to replace me. Next morning, I found a note on my phone, written at 4:12 a.m. It said, "You are fatting, and I am becoming stronger." I do not know how long this has been happening. I do not know how much of me is left. Sometimes I feel like I am watching my own life from far away, like I am trapped inside my own body, while something else is living my life. And the worst part is, I think people are starting to notice the way they look at me, like something is off, like I am not the same person anymore. And maybe they are right, because when I try to remember who I was before this, I cannot see him clearly anymore. It feels like remembering a stranger. And now, as I am recording this, I can feel it again. That pressure inside my head. That presence waiting for me to stop talking, waiting for silence. Because the moment I stop, it will take over completely. So let me ask you one last question. If one day you wake up and realize that you are not fully in control anymore, would you even notice? Or would it already be too late if you are hearing this right now and you felt something while listening, something watching you, something inside your thoughts? Then maybe it is already closer than you think. And before I go, if you want more stories like this, stories that feel too real to ignore, make sure you subscribe to with Anna 7, because the next story might not just be a story. It might be happening to you right now.